Okay, how about, you know what? We can play a new game. A new game, it's fun.
Well, what's it called?
Cups.
Hey everyone, I've looked at my movie collection before. I've looked at video games, laser discs, my ticket stubs. I've looked at all kinds of different movie memorabilia things that I've collected over the years. So another thing I want to talk about today are movie cups. Because why not? I like to reminisce about all the different times I've gone to the theater and decided to get the large soda because I want to get that cup. Or dig into the garbage, which I've never done that for a cup before. Never. I mean, who would throw these away anyway? So what happens is I go to Marcus Theaters, and I know other theaters do it too. They usually offer a cup with the large size drink. And I guess it became a ploy to get people to buy the larger size, and over time they've become collector's items. Often though, you'll just find them on eBay for a small price, like $5 or less, honestly. I don't really see the need to collect these because it's just a cheap piece of plastic that they make real quick. Just slap a different movie on it. But like I said, depending on if I get the soda, I get the cup, I will keep it. I don't really have a way to display them at the moment, but I still want to keep them around just in case someday I'm able to find a way, maybe within the movie store, to display the cups. But I wanted to go through them today because, man, with the theaters being closed the last couple months, it's really making me miss those times. I loved going to the theater, and the cups maybe will help me find a way back. Like Kingsman Golden Circle, which was not a movie I loved. It really wasn't. But I got a cup, and there's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of movies I don't like, but I have the cup. It Chapter 2, and this is one variation that was kind of boring. It's got the simple poster design on it and the logo, but there wasn't really... You could have shown the clown or a lot of the other crazy stuff that happens in that movie, because I actually enjoyed It Chapter 2. Thor: The Dark World. Now, this is, to me, a pristine cup. You got Thor, you got the logo. It's very nicely done, spreads across the entire cup, and movie's not very good. Me and Stella actually discussed that movie on a recent video if you want to check that out. I have another one for a movie that I don't really admire too much. Oh wait, nope, that's Deadpool 2. This is a very funny cup actually. I like Deadpool 2 alright. I didn't like it as much as the first one. I had my issues. You can watch that review online as well, but most of my complaints still hold up after rewatches. But that's a cup I actually really dig. We got this Wonder Woman cup, which I'm hoping there'll be a new cup made for the sequel, which would look nice next to this. You know, you just got the 3 poses, which nothing too advanced, but then again, a lot of these cups really aren't. And then we have right here, this is the Hobbs & Shaw cup, which is more like a Brisk promotion rather than is a Hobbs & Shaw promotion. If you've ever gotten a Brisk before, this is the kind of art style that they do on their packaging. So I thought it was kind of neat that they did that for a movie cup to do that sort of art style. Hobbs & Shaw was, like all the other Fast and Furious movies, it was real crazy. I have an Alien cup, which it's so black and dark you can't even really tell that that's the Alien on there. And actually, I should clarify, this is the Alien Covenant cup, not the original Alien, which would be way cooler if you ask me. We also have X-Men Apocalypse, which I can't believe there's already been another X-Men movie since this came out, which I can't decide yet. Is X-Men Apocalypse worse? Is Dark Phoenix worse? I can't remember exactly what I said, but I think I disliked Apocalypse more. Dark Phoenix was very bad, though. Both are bad. That series went so downhill towards the end. It's really too bad. This Power Rangers cup, which has all of the... Well, actually, not all of them. I thought it did. It only has 3 Rangers on it. I guess the blue and the pink one don't matter. I liked this movie, actually. I kind of wish they would have done more of them. I dug that Power Rangers movie. I saw it twice, and it's not amazing, but I think it's serviceable. I think kids would like it, and that's kind of the demographic. War for the Planet of the Apes. This is the movie I have to check out again. This is one of the best movies of 2017. So cool that I got a cup for it. I think a lot of people didn't give enough credit to the rise of the Planet of the Apes 3-film series that they had. I hope they do another one. I kind of doubt that they will, especially since Disney has the rights to it now, but we'll see. They probably will do something with Planet of the Apes eventually. I think that series could continue and we could eventually catch up to the original films, since those ones are kind of set up more like prequels anyway. But we'll see. Ferdinand, which I don't remember too much about, except it felt like weird. This was a weird movie. I don't know. It was okay. I should do a review of that movie someday, because I don't even want to explain it here, but it was a weird movie. Spider-Man Far From Home. I do like this poster. I thought it was a lot of fun to kind of show where the movie would be going, and that'll be a world traveling movie that would leave New York, kind of like the first movie, except this did it. It brought it to the extra mile, literally. And I didn't dig the movie too much. It was okay. I had my issues with it, but overall, all the Spider-Man movies have been pretty good. There's not really a bad one, unless you're talking about the Amazing Spider-Man, which, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. The first Amazing Spider-Man was great. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the worst Spider-Man movie, and I do have a cup for it. This is actually the cup that my sister got, and I took away because I've been the one collecting these cups, and she didn't care. Maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she'll watch the video. I don't know. This is an awful movie, and someday I will get to talking about it, but hated that movie. Like, I very rarely hate a movie, but that was one where I was, like, so disappointed compared to how much I liked the first one. Alita Battle Angel, which is a cup I didn't think I would ever really want, but honestly, this was a good movie. I had a lot of fun with this. Like, I never would have thought roller skating in the future would be such an interesting premise, but it really was. I wish they would do more with this franchise, and they possibly will, because it did pretty good at the box office, and now that Disney has the rights, I'm sure they're going to be trying to bank off of something else besides Star Wars, Marvel, or the Pixar films. I'm sure they want to try to find a new franchise. This might be it. If they can make good sequels out of it, I don't know. I mean, they kind of foreshadowed that Edward Norton would be in the future one, so bring him in as the villain, you might get a good movie. Jason Bourne, which... I've never really seen this movie technically. I saw it on a cruise. Like, at the outside deck of the cruise, there was, like, a screening of the film, but you could barely hear the sound. From what I was understanding with it, it wasn't good. And I'm not a huge Bourne fan. I like Bourne Ultimatum a lot. The other ones I don't really remember too much about. And I don't even think I ever saw the one with... Jeremy Renner. I can't even remember. Was it The Bourne Legacy? I never saw that one. And I don't know if I ever will. I'd love to rewatch the whole series someday and to really analyze it. And because they were pretty popular when they came out. The new one, though, was a big disappointment. And from what I remember of it, it was like, I understood why. Sing, which I actually had a lot of fun with. I know a lot of people kind of... they kind of make fun of these Illumination films. I thought this one was okay. I've liked the other movies all right. They're not the greatest animated movies, but they're serviceable. You see the trailer, and that's exactly what you get. And that's not the worst thing in the world. And I hear they're making a sequel to this. Okay, I don't really know what more you could do with that premise. It's basically a lot like Pitch Perfect, which was a lot like... Glee, which was a lot like doing things like High School Musical, which was only a big thing because American Idol was so popular. It's this idea of like having people sing and making the competition aspect of it like part of the movie. That became like a whole franchise of movies and spin-offs and different things. It's like American Idol created a whole new genre, not just musical films, but just straight up doing covers only. And I don't know. It's weird. That's really what it feels like, though. It feels like an animated Pitch Perfect. But Black Panther was great. Very sad to lose Chadwick Boseman. Actually, that's still very recent and still very, very sad. I don't know. It just breaks my heart so much. And this is actually a really good movie. It gets better even with rewatches. I remember the first time I saw it, I liked it, but one thing I didn't really like too much about it was the main character. But even that aspect of it has grown on me over time. So. It's worth a rewatch if you didn't like it too much the first time. And then we have, of course, the Boss Baby Cup, because why not? Alec Baldwin, nominated for an Academy Award. It was dumb. Oh, man, I love the Knives Out Cup. I love that Knives Out got a cup. This is very rare does a non-huge superhero blockbuster animated film get a cup. Oh shit. This movie was fine, but I have my issues with it, and you know, I don't think it should have gotten nominated for Oscars. I don't think it should have been talked about really beyond its release, but it did a serviceable enough job of describing Queen. I don't know how you get a deeper dive of Queen, honestly. I don't know if there was as much, you know, interesting stuff about them besides the fact that they made really good music. There wasn't as many good quarrels or tensions, and Freddie Mercury, I think, is interesting, but they kind of touched upon everything they would need to with that character. I don't know exactly what else you could do with him, but honestly, for the kind of movie it was, it's like, I didn't really understand the tone it was going for sometimes, and honestly, I think it should have done something more like Rocketman, which came out a year later. It was actually directed by the guy who did most of the pickup work on this movie, because, you know, Bryan Singer kind of dipped out. But this is a real cool cup. I do love purple. It's got a good look to it. My Dark Knight Rises cup. This is like the oldest cup I have of all of them. This was like the first time I ever seen this done, and I do love it. I do love Batman. Dark Knight Rises has not aged well, I don't think, but it's still a memorable movie to me. They did a re-release of it recently during the pandemic, and I've been trying to avoid the theater, but that one almost got me, where I was like, I kind of would see it again in theaters, even though I've seen it 3 times in theaters when it came out. What else could there be but my Anchorman 2 cup, which, what else can be said? It's got the Anchorman characters on it. Of course, this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite cup. And I love Anchorman 2. I know some people didn't like it as much as the first film. I feel like the people that I see who don't like the sequel also don't like the first movie anyway, so I guess it's just not your type of humor. But I thought the second one was not only great, but even better than the first one. I love the first one. But both movies are probably in my top. If I were to make like a top 100 movies list, they probably would both be in there, because I think they're very good comedies and very funny. And Anchorman 2 actually had an extended edition and an alternate version, which had like alternate jokes. So there's like 3 cuts of that movie out there, and they're all very funny. I've actually seen them all, and they're all... Will Ferrell's a funny guy, and they all are. Paul Rudd, Steve Carell, David Koechner. They're very funny people. And I hope they make an Anchorman 3 someday. Those are all my cups. I'm sure the collection will grow again someday when they open up the theaters. When will that happen?